Hi, this is Unplugged Gaming. I'm Kincaid and this is Sheev. We're going to talk about the game Splendor.
The game of Splendor is like a 2 to 4 player game. It's estimated around 30 minutes. Can take up to 1 hour if it's 4 people. Or if it's your first time, it takes longer. The more you know the game, the faster it goes.
We're going to talk about the visual components, how the game looks on the outside, and how that relates to the gameplay itself. The theme of the game is, at least has been explained to me, that you are a Renaissance jewel, a Renaissance jewel connoisseur, and you're collecting jewel mines. Like the cards represent different mines and characters, and the jewels themselves are here. And you use them to buy more mines and such.
This game at first is kind of different when you think about it. It's modern, but it's not modern. Like when you see the cards, there's some of them are like old timey, but like the main concept of the game itself is actually modern. You're like a miner, and so you have temporary resources, but then you eventually buy into a big vein, which are these cards right here. Each of them have a color, and like normally the green ones that'll pertain to the green chip. So this is a temporary resource. You can only have up to 10 chips at a time. These will be there forever, and you have to use chips to buy them.
Let's talk about the ease of learning the game. When I learned the game, I wasn't. She was a jerk and wouldn't teach me how to play, and was just like, "Let's go!" So the no and go, it's as evidenced by Sheev's jerkiness, actually pretty easy to do. You can just literally be thrown in the middle of the game and swim pretty well.
Yeah, we had 2 new players the first time we played this, and
he didn't think to teach either of us.
I did teach them somewhat as they played the game. They got it. It's like you don't really need to teach them. You can learn just by playing it, like watching others play it.
Let's talk about the mechanics of the game. Like she was explaining earlier, the temporary resources are represented by these chips here, and you can pick up chips each turn, or you can buy a permanent resource with the chips that you've been picking up, and the permanent resources eventually take the place of the chips. And as the game comes to a close, you get points based on how many permanent resources you have and how many character icons you have. You buy character icons the same way you do permanent resource, excepting that you don't get any kind of resource bonus. It's purely points from a character icon.
Yeah, the main point of the game is to get 15 points to win, which takes a matter of turns. First, you have to collect resource cards, but once you get enough, right here you have cards you can't use chips, and these are 3 points each. Pretty much when you get enough permanent resource cards, you start getting a lot of those.
Let's talk about the thematic vibe, the way that the theme of the game is represented throughout the game. I feel like it's a tad muddy on the why. I mean, the game's awesome. Don't get me wrong, but they are jewels. You can tell that much, and several of the cards represent mines or places that you would get jewels or people inspecting the jewels. But there's not so much a story of why.
Yeah, you
you're
don't
getting
get
these
the
jewels.
imaginative feeling like in other games. You take a card game, you're just playing to win. You won't like imagine things
like
as
the
you're
Resistance.
playing.
The Resistance gave you a hard story, and you followed along and you played to that story. This is
more like
a tad
free play.
wishy-washy in the why, but everything it's awesome. It's an awesome game. Don't get me wrong. There's in no way hard criticism. It's a really good game. It just
This is more of a thinking type of game. It's like a card game, similar. It's like a poker type of game where you have to think and what you're going to do. You need to like think into the future, what your next move will be, what happens if the opponent gets that card, stuff like that.
Let's talk about how fun this was. Like I've been saying, I had a lot of fun playing this game. It really was fun. Even though she was a jerk and didn't teach me how to play, I had to learn on my feet. It was really fun. It just, yeah, well, I'm going to say the same thing over and over. It was an all-around fun game.
Same here. I like this game. I learned it a long time ago, and when I still played it again, I pretty much still remembered it. It was the same.
This has been Unplugged Gaming. See you at Statesville High School. We'll see you guys next time.